Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation Octopussy, turn 11.7, Italy. It is July 1941. Italy has one tech roll. I tried for radar at a 7 or higher. PB generated a 2, so I failed. Purchases. I have 16 IPP to spend. I will upgrade 1 militia to an infantry for 2. Purchase 1 militia for 2, that's 4. 2 anti-aircraft artillery for 8, that's 12. And I'll lend-lease 1 anti-aircraft artillery to the Spanish nationalists for 4, that's 16. Combat movement. From Belgian Congo, let's rotate the camera down so we can see what's going on here. I'm going to have, from Belgian Congo, 1 infantry will move into Rhodesia. So that is 1 up for Italy to 14, and 1 down for Great Britain to 22. I'm going to take 1 pot shot at that Soviet sub. Went to war just to try to get him and failed. So we'll have a second try with this seaplane. It'll fly out 1, 2, and go on map. See if I can get this little map guy on there. Okay. Let's see. And then I'm going to have 1 naval or amphibious assault. So here in Lower Egypt, this naval transport that has the Deutsche Afrika Korps will leave port to Sea Zone I-5. It will pick up 1 Italian infantry from Lower Egypt, and then it will move 1 space into I-4, 1 into I-7, and then up here into I-6, and drop off 1 infantry in Qatar. That Deutsche Afrika Korps infantry stays on board. Let me get a rondelle. Okay, so that concludes my combat movement, those 3 moves. The only one that requires a roll is that seaplane. 1 shot at 3. Let's rotate the camera just slightly. See if we've got everything. I think we got everything there. Okay, 1 shot at 3. Nope. Okay, so let's go do some non-combat movement. That seaplane will fly back to Lower Egypt and come off map. Having trouble with my little seaplane there. Okay. Got a move up here in northern Italy. I'm going to have 3 anti-aircraft artillery will move into Rome. Okay, just double checking. Let's go over here to Sea Zone M9. That coastal sub will move down into M8. And then in M8, my surface ships that are here in M8, which is 1 light cruiser and 4 destroyers that are in this task force here. They're going to move 1 space through the Suez into I-5. All right. Then from Tobruk, the 2 fighters that are in Tobruk are going to fly 1 to M4, 2 to M6, 3 to M5, and then 4 into northern Italy. Again, back down here in Tobruk, 1 infantry here will strategic rail to Lower Egypt. And that naval transport that's in Lower Egypt will leave port to M8, pick up 2 infantry, and drop them off in Lower Egypt, and then go back and port right where it is, in the northern side of Lower Egypt. And then the Tobruk infantry will move into Western Egypt, and from Western Egypt, the infantry that is there will move into Lower Egypt. So I think I've got 4 infantry in Lower Egypt right now. Okay, and then from Lower Egypt, the medium bomber there is going to fly to Abyssinia. All right, placement of units. I'm going to upgrade this militia. Finally, I can trace supply through that port since the Germans own it. I'm going to upgrade that militia to an infantry. And then up here in northern Italy, I'll place 2 anti-aircraft artillery. And in Rome, I will place another militia, which gets me up to 6 militia there. All right. Then Lend-Lease, I will build the Lend-Lease anti-aircraft artillery that's going to go to the Spanish nationalists. Of course, it has to be built in northern Italy, and it'll rail to Basque country. Okay. Now collect income. So I'm at 14 plus 2 for the Suez. So Italy ends the turn with 16. Disposition of forces. Let's make sure what all is on camera here. Okay. In northern Italy, I have 1 militia, 2 infantry, 2 mountain, 1 German mountain, 3 anti-aircraft artillery, 2 German mechanized infantry, 2 German fighters, 3 Italian fighters, 1 German medium bomber, 1 German strategic bomber. In Rome, I have 6 militia, 3 infantry, 2 German infantry, 4 anti-aircraft artillery in a fortification. Let's go down to Africa. In C-Zone M8, I have 1 German sub, 1 Japanese sub, 1 Italian sub, 3 Italian coastal subs. In Tobruk, I have a militia and 2 German Deutsche Afrika Korps motorized. In Western Egypt, I have an infantry. In Lower Egypt, I have 4 infantry, 2 Japanese infantry, 4 Marines, 1 Deutsche Afrika Korps artillery, 1 Italian motorized, a battleship, and 2 heavy cruisers, and a naval transport in port on the northern side of Lower Egypt. I also have a tactical bomber and a seaplane. On the southern side of Lower Egypt, I have there is a Japanese naval transport in port. In I-5, there is 1 light cruiser, 4 destroyers. In Abyssinia, 1 militia, 1 infantry, 1 medium bomber. In Qatar, 1 Italian infantry. In Portuguese East Africa, there is a militia and a Japanese tactical bomber. In Rhodesia, there is an infantry. And I think, oh, I didn't say over in is that I-5? No, I-6. 1 naval transport with a German Deutsche Afrika Korps infantry. Okay, next up is Panzer J with turn 11.8 KMT and 11.9 USA.